Catherine was finally seen in public at a Windsor market. Harry and Meghan removed from the royal family website, and a mysterious flag waving at half-mast at Buckingham Palace that triggered all internet. This and more on today's show. Hello and welcome back, my Royal Roguies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. But first, we're gonna kick off today's show with a meme from Laird of the Manor. New product just launched on Arrow. You know that site, right? Arrow? Well, this is a special edition dream catcher, and it's, well, the thing that you would expect from the Duchess of Sausages. So much sophistication in just one piece. I can imagine that this is a limited edition dream catcher for you to hang on your walls or maybe in your car. And how do I know that this is a limited edition? Because of the craftsmanship. This must have been done by hand in one of the Montecito dungeons. Not gonna lie, I'm impressed. But let's talk about those claims that a flag was waving at half-mast at Buckingham Palace because someone had died. But for starters, no such thing happened. Not the flag waving at half-mast or anybody died. No, the clip of the flag at half-mast is an old one. People haven't been able to tell if it was when Prince Philip died or when the Queen died, but it is not current. So it hasn't stopped the rumors to just ignite on social media, and even some moderately big news outlets that went as far as to claim that King Charles had died. In this case, the official account of UK in Ukraine had to inform that the news about the death of the king were fake. Now, this is a warning. If you're a fan of the royal family and at the same time you value your mental health, you should make sure not to expose yourself too much to these online trolls. Because, for example, on Twitter or X, there are accounts that are absolutely vile, toxic, and even dangerous when it comes to misinformation. I cannot stand them. I have blocked them all. And today I blocked a lot of accounts spreading horrible lies about the royal family. Because yes, it gets to my nerves at some point, but I just ignore them. But what about the people who take all those things at face value? Because, for example, you are watching me here debunking all these conspiracy theories. But maybe you have friends that maybe don't watch my show and don't watch the actual verifiable sources of information. And your friends begin to ask you, who died? Why Kate Middleton has disappeared? What is going on with the royal family and all that stuff? And you try to explain that nothing has happened, that everyone is okay. Yeah, the royal family has gone through many challenges, but this moment in time is precisely not one of those times. Everything is more or less going well. They're going to tell you, your friends, no, I don't believe you. I see so many things on the internet, so many analysis about what happened to Kate Middleton, that something must have happened. And you say, well, okay, if you say so. I mean, it's exhausting. It's not only that what you have to deal with online with all these trolls and toxic accounts, but at the same time dealing with people who are not well informed. Well, just point them out to me, to my show, and I will be glad to update them on the real happenings of the royals and not so royals. Whatever is happening with these vicious rumors, this is done to distract from something. Because, first, Meghan must have wanted to take the spotlight, and that's why she launched her half-baked brand even without a trademark, no matter what. And if you want to hear the whole rationale and explanation behind that, just watch my prior 2 or 3 shows. I have explained that in detail already. But what I'm seeing right now is that this seems like an effort to do the opposite, to try to distract people from the fact that Meghan's lifestyle brand barely made it to 500,000 followers. I would not be surprised that Meghan is making sure that the attention of the world is now directed to all these conspiracy theories, so people stop questioning whatever she has launched, which is an empty Instagram account and an empty website which doesn't have products or reviews or anything. That would make sense, right? Because she doesn't like this scrutiny, and that's why likes and comments are limited on her Instagram page. She doesn't like it to be questioned. Narcissists don't like to be questioned. But that is the name of the game if you're a moderate-sized celebrity, a 500k follower celebrity. I have a YouTube channel that has more subscribers than her Instagram account, so that says a lot. Not to brag, but that says a lot. So tell me, if Meghan has used the media so many times for her own gain, wouldn't she be helping spread misinformation thanks to her husband, who is the king of misinformation, and spreading said misinformation about the royal family so people stop noticing her lifestyle blog blunder? Does that make sense to you? And before we mention how the Harkles were removed from the royal family website, some eagle-eyed rogues such as Harry's grey suit spotted that Meghan keeps copying stuff and it's very hard to find a single original idea in everything that she has been doing. And from that horror video of American Riviera Orchard, the screenshot is copied to a T. That video of Gwyneth Paltrow cooking, I think it was chicken or something. The same colors, the same camera angle, the same square tiles in the background, the lemons, the blouse style, everything. And this is from 14 years ago. I mean, how can Meghan pretend that people are not going to notice this? That people are not going to realize that her blog, An Arrogant Chimera, is obviously competition for Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. And the comparisons are going to be made whether Meghan likes it or not. Is she daft or shameless? Or a blend of the two? I will let you decide. And speaking of that horror video, it's not a stretch that the dress that she was wearing on that clip must have been the same Carolina Herrera black gown that she wore to that Bob Marley movie premiere in Jamaica. Because it looks exactly the same. Now, the same overkill dress was worn for that movie premiere. Do you really think that this dress fits the vibe that she wants to project with her lifestyle blog? I mean, can you relate this dress to kitchenware, linen, jams, and nut spreads? In which dimension can you combine cooking and recipe books with this dress? This is the kind of things that I simply don't understand. Does she want to sell sophistication? Or does she want to sell a homely feeling? Or does she want to sell a family atmosphere, which I doubt that she could pull that off if she never shows her children or if that's her thing. And that reminds me about another thing regarding the royal family website. So many people saying that Catherine must give some kind of proof of life, that she has to prove the world that she's alive, or that the royal family has to prove that they didn't do to her what they did to Diana and all that stuff that I will not repeat. But Catherine is not in the line of succession. Okay, she's going to be queen someday, but she's not actually in the line of succession, so why so many people who pretend to be so worried about her? Why don't these people demand pictures from the ones who are actually in the line of succession? Because that's what they claim, that they need proof because it has to do with the monarchy, but they don't become as intense with certain prince and princess, which is baffling. I guess that everyone should be entitled to privacy, but then don't have double standards because that is hypocritical. If you let Meghan have all the privacy she wants with her kids, who are in the line of succession, maybe you could offer Catherine the same grace for just a couple months. But today, and for exactly 41 minutes, the wish that every single royal fan of the royal family has been clamoring for was granted. Harry and Meghan were removed from the royal family official website completely. We got all 41 minutes of complete bliss thinking that this was a new era of overseas non-interactions. But they say that good things come in small packages. And sadly, good things also come in short bursts. And the Harkles were reinstated, but with a caveat, that they no longer have independent pages for Harry and Meghan. They have only one, the Duke and Duchess of Sausages, which is quite a downgrade if you think about it. And the change was brutal, from 4,000 words each one to just 500 together. Ouch, baby. Especially if they are just one step away from being below Andrew, which is saying something. Now, you might be disappointed that they were not permanently removed, but there is a silver lining to this. That any reference of them representing the monarchy or the royal family or serving the king or their patronages, all of that is gone for good. So just think of this as a half foot out the door. Can you imagine Harry's face when he reloaded the site and didn't find himself? I would have paid good money for that. And I don't know if the successful career as an actress part is trolling. But when I saw this screenshot on Twitter, as in, this is the first picture that they show as a description of Meghan, the Duchess of Sausages, I thought this was a joke. But no, it is legit. And in her bio, her two first major accomplishments are being a successful actress and the TIG. They should have added her 500k stint. How dare you? And so many rogues are really happy that Catherine has been spotted in video with William on a visit to her favorite Windsor farm shop, looking happy, relaxed, and healthy. As much as I like that Windsor locals respect Catherine's privacy, and they know that when the time comes, she will show herself on an official engagement, and that will be great. Well, someone took this video, and this time I'm going to break my rule and just share it. Because it's such a great feeling to watch Catherine again out in the open with a great stride and smile. In terms of body language, you can see her energy by yourself. And meanwhile, I want to comment in the insanity that her absence has caused. Every single piece of information, every single news about Catherine is going to be interpreted or processed in two vastly different ways. The first way is those who are fans of Catherine and William will say that it's great that they were out and about and some neighbors, some residents of Windsor could see them, and that is awesome. But even if there is now video of her, there will still be more conspiracy theories, and that just doesn't matter. I said this 2 shows ago, that regardless, Photogate or not Photogate, people were going to have their own conclusions. Some more vicious than others, but that is unavoidable. People that are opportunistic will just make up things, just for clicks, just for engagement, just for more followers. That is not gonna change anytime soon, and as time goes by, I have to tell you that it's gonna get worse. My appreciation of how William and Catherine are going to deal with this is that they are going to do the sensible thing, and that is close the laptop. They're gonna close the laptop, and that's it. They will keep calm and carry on, and that will be great. As Demetra Alton says, haters gonna hate, Kate's gonna Kate. And I wanted to share this lovely photo from Brandwood Photos with you. Last year, I had the honor of photographing the Princess of Wales during her visit to my hometown. One of my favorite shots from that day captures her engaged in casual conversation while a group of men stands in awe with their phones out. And yes, it's a great contrast. She's just chatting with a lady in a very engaging manner, looking straight to her, her body oriented right towards her. That is being really engaged in the conversation. And the lady is attentive to what Catherine was saying at that moment. And you see all the guys filming and taking pictures. And I say that this is a contrast because in essence, Catherine is down to earth. But we cannot deny the fascination of people with the royal family and, in this case, with Catherine. It's understandable. So I'd say that it's even funny. Maybe they are taking the picture for their wives or they are taking the picture for themselves. Who knows? But it's a lovely photo nonetheless. And speaking of lovely pictures, in this case from Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, meeting Royal Irish Regiment soldiers for St. Patrick's Day. And she was looking phenomenal, and I know that so many of you love and follow everything that Sophie does. So it is my great pleasure to bring you these pictures, which are perfect at depicting her charisma and warmth. I remember that we were talking about this in one live stream, and so many of you told me that you would love to meet Sophie someday. It will be an amazing moment because she looks so lovely and like a longtime friend, like your best friend in the world. That's how she looks at people, and you cannot fake it. That simply cannot be faked. And my guess is that this is one of the ingredients of her magnetism. And yes, I sometimes talk in behavioral and body language terms that could be a bit dry, especially in this case, since we're talking about such a lively personality. But I like to make those connections. You love her because what she projects, the way that she treats people, and as I have said many times, it is difficult to analyze people's body language from just photos, but Sophie's personality is so sparkling that you feel all that from just a picture. I mean, I share your fascination with the Duchess of Edinburgh, and I'm more than happy to bring you pictures like this. And a royal biographer has come forward and said that Meghan is as narcissistic as Wallis Simpson, says royal biographer. Duchess of Sussex dominates Prince Harry just as Wallis Simpson did with the Duke of Windsor, Sally Bedell-Smith has said. I know that I have made quite a couple videos about the similarities between Meghan and Wallis. And of course, I have made them only because of you, my rogues. I'm impressed by the way that you have found all those pictures and quotes and book chapters to give me all the information I needed to craft these visual compendiums of infamy. But I have a couple opinions about this. The first one is that we have to look at this in terms of different eras. Two women, two princes living in vastly different eras in which gossip is perhaps a common denominator. Gossip has permeated the walls of every single castle and fortress and town of human civilization. That hasn't changed one bit. But social media, on the other hand, and the internet, well, it has been marvelous, especially because you have records, easily verifiably records in the case of Meghan, to check what she says against her own actions and statements from 1 or 2 or 3 years ago. So you realize that she contradicts herself, she tries to make up things. There's so many things and ways to confirm that she has lied that maybe in the case of Wallis Simpson, it was implied that she was a narcissist. Because when we are talking about narcissism, we're talking about the disorder itself, and that you suffer from narcissistic personality disorder. It's like you are way past a certain spectrum of being self-absorbed. And you manifest it in a way that harms other people, sometimes harms yourself as well. But when we talk about narcissism itself, it's the same as gossip. It hasn't changed one bit in millennia. It has been part of human nature for thousands of years. And in that regard, the comparison is quite well done. Because it's not only the circumstances, but the actions and the body language and the facial expressions that we have seen so many times. And yes, the bird poop dress as well. But rogues, I would love to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And remember, much love and bliss.